it is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, he is our son and he is our thief.
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader,
Yes.
probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers,
Yes.
do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
Good morning, Africa. Good morning, the world, wherever you are watching us. This is Punchline Africa television broadcasting all the way from the Political Command Center in London. Thank you very much. Good morning, Miriam in Nairobi, and all our viewers. Good morning, Miriam.
A very good morning to you, Doctor.
Good morning, Professor Gerard Onyari. I can see you online already. But if you are not online, good morning, and still you'll be greeted when you come back. The show today, we have delayed a bit, but we shall take the next 20 minutes or so, is the editor's memo. And this time on the editor's memo, I will pick the country Kenya. For the last 3 years, the Republic of Kenya has been under peaceful life in all aspects, political, social, and economically, until the COVID-19 struck us last year. This country has suffered perennial electoral violence. Some 2 years ago, tomorrow, which is going to mark the day of the handshake, the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta buried the hatchet. They decided to put the nation of Kenya above all, and they said their nation was the best instead of individuals. They put aside individual egos that destroy Africa. Most of the countries in Africa, across the continent, in the world, in Yugoslavia, for example, you saw what brought about the fight between Yugoslavia, which split into several parts because of ego after the death of President Field Marshal Tito. It is therefore very important for us to note that the symbolic act by Raila Amolo Odinga, a leader of opposition who got almost 7 million votes, and giving his 7 million votes aside, which he received and decided to stretch his hand across to his brother, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, for the sake of the people of Kenya. Such a symbolic move should not be taken and should not be diluted in any form. The 9 points that the handshake produced are very, very important to the people of Kenya. The editor's note notes, among the points, there is elections, corruption, ethos, inclusivity for all, to balance the nature of what we have today, tomorrow, and what we had before. The history has taught us that every 5 years in Kenya, since 1992, there has been a political backlash, a violence, chaos, conflict created that displaces people. The two leaders saw it that they must clean the electoral system. They must put a system that when a winner wins, when a loser loses, nothing comes between the two. It is therefore very important that at this hour, we note, as we thank them for having taken that stand on 9th of March, which is coming up tomorrow, and we shall talk why very much. We shall have a special program on it. That we must understand that what Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta did was a redemption strategy. A redemption strategy is not a political process. It's a redemption strategy. A redemption strategy that has got 5 pillars. Accountability, the most important, truth-telling, reconciliation, restitution, reparation. If you look at the 9 points of the BBI, all these words are within there. All you will find somewhere: compensation, reparation, displaced people. We don't want security. We want this. Accountability, truth-telling, reconciling the people of Kenya. The aim was to unite and have a united Republic of Kenya after the completion of the BBI and the amendment bill that puts Kenya to ask Kenya what they think about the BBI and what they think about the 9 points. The editor's memo takes it that when you see the winds, bad winds sailing against the ship on matters that could have been solved, or because the wind, because the ship is not straight on the water, you don't just sit and watch. You get involved, try to make sure that this ship sits on the right path. I want to take this opportunity to thank President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya, for having taken a telephone call to remind his brother about mob hysteria created by some elements that usually crowd around leaders, from the Emperor Napoleon, Emperor Nero, Herod. We have men who crowd around leaders. Some of them benefit while the leaders are not seeing. Some of them use the leaders when they don't know. So some of those men in the court could be very dangerous. Maybe there is a rivalry over who was not there. Why was I not taken? Why didn't I go? Why was I not in a meeting? Both sides of Kenya have those men. We have Ruto on the other side, and we have the Orengos on the other side. The editors note want to say Ruto claims not to have been involved, but yet he selected the names that went around to do the BBI. A shame. We have other people on this other side who feel that they should have not been Junaid, should have been me. And I want to bring it to the attention of Kenyans. What Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga proposed is good as hard and hard like a rock. You don't need to go back to the streets. There is no Kenyan who wants to go. Show me one Kenyan who wants to have demonstrations, burning things of people in the streets. None will come up and put up his hand. Let's not be forced, therefore, to go into the alley of darkness that we left. The past can only teach us what we can do in the future when we come or confronted with the same. I therefore submit that both sides have got scavengers. Those who scavenge, who want to take what they want, or who want to disrupt, or who want to eat everything. Vultures hovering over the BBI. On the side of the Jubilee Party, we have vultures hovering in the name of Tanga Tanga Group, a group composed of an outfit of militia, more or less of a militia. They can decide to land on a zone, on an area, and create chaos. We don't have MPs. We don't have people in Tanga Tanga. We don't have people in the
Okay, we seem to have suffered a bit of a technical hitch there from Doctor's side. Once he's able to come and conclude his thought there, I will do so, because this is the editor's memo. And of course, a doctor was talking about the same thing, I think the same conversation we had here earlier about those utterances that were made there by Siaya Senator James Orengo. And it's true, tomorrow the handshake shall be marking 3 years, and we shall have an elaborate conversation here, looking back and seeing without the handshake, perhaps where would Kenya be 3 years later. But we do have a doctor back, so he shall continue and conclude his thought. Go ahead.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we had a bit of a technical hitch, but we're back now, Karibu. Go ahead.
It was not on my side, Miriam. The technical one is near you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Miriam. I was saying the vultures hovering over the BBI. We have Ruto and a group. And then on this side also we have those who feel they should have or should gain out of this process. Politically, economically, and even socially, with the social status going up by being appointed in ministries, being appointed as ministers, creating a government of national unity. No! There are those who think, and the two men of the handshake, the two who stood in the Harambee House building in front of millions of people in the world, have never said they want to use this BBI as a stepping stone to either remain in power or attain presidency. They have said they want to make a better Kenya for anybody who will take competition in the next election, to find an election which has no violence, where the winner accepts the results and then works with the government and gets opposition slot, and the country moves on. Miriam, that is my submission. My submission, therefore, is finally, BBI is not a political process. BBI, Building of Bridges Initiative, is a healing process. And let people understand that we are trying to heal a nation that is coming out of war, of conflict, of ICC, from 1992, of IDPs, displacement, the killings of many people. That is the nation. Therefore, I submit.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is.
Thank you very much, Miriam.
All right, very well. Thank you so much. And Doctor, I don't think there's anything else we need to add to that. Thank you so much. That was clear, to the point there. And so that has been the editor's memo presented to you by Dr. David Matanga. We shall be back here at 11 a.m., top of the hour. And today being the International Women's Day, we shall be looking at how BBI is set to address the issue of gender inequality and women in leadership in this country. We know that the former CJ, David Maraga, even wrote a letter to President Uhuru Kenyatta to dissolve Parliament because it was not constituted very well, because we failed to meet the 2/3 gender rule. So how does the BBI propose to address that and other questions surrounding women in this country? Thank you so much. So I'll see you at the top of the hour.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.